because they're natural flowers. It is. We took a half-month summer break. We go back this coming week. I'm not very good. I don't mind. It's just I try. It's training your mind, but it's so important to me. It's frustrating, but it's very good. Really? And I said, yeah, exactly. Almost little mistakes. Right.
And then it failed again. So
You said they were not in
Utah. Yeah. Which is my mom's house.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, your mom was She only came when she married my dad.
So what is, it's your
It's my
cousin?
Yeah.
Or, okay, my cousin's the same.
Ruth Kawashima Shiva.
So that's a
Shiva, that's a very good.
Okay.
So, Daisy Kawashima.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's my mom's sister's daughter.
What's your mom's name?
Yeah, She's kind of unusual.
Yeah, I've never.
No, that's
And it's an unusual name. It's
And-
not. I mean, it's not common.
Yeah, and the Indonesian is actually
Right. Right.
Yeah, it's different Chinese. I'm like, no.
Oh, okay. Okay, so yeah, let her know that she wants to talk. I really think because 1 year we had failed matches. We returned it all. And we got like, we do this every year, and it shouldn't be. We haven't changed anything. Yeah, we just brought it all back, and they said, "Yep, we'll take the old room and go."
Probably get it clean. Yeah, I'll give it
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Good morning, everyone. I think this is it good? Okay, great. Thank you. Welcome to White River Temple. Today is September 7th. It's our first service of the month, and so we do have our memorial where we commemorate those people who have passed in this month. And during the chanting of Jusei, those who know these people, family and friends, are welcome to make offerings at any time during the chanting. So we will start with Sambujo, which you'll find on page 22 of our purple book. And Sensei will give an introduction to the service today, and then we will move on to Jusei on page 23.
Can I please ask everyone to put your palms together in what we call Gasho, or bow your head in contemplation and respect. As we say together, Namo Amida Butsu, I take refuge in Amida Buddha. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Kiyoshi, Matsuo Sakagami, Jackie Kawasaki Wills, Edwin Arima, Joe Toshio Nishimoto, Jack Shilthrow, Mei Fumie Hajikami, Janice Tsuneko Ikuta, Takejiro Hama, Edward Tanaka, Lord Herndon, Nancy Tomie Fujikawa, John H. Hamakami Sr., Helen H. Mizuki, John Kitagawa, William Genty, as well as all others who were not listed but contributed to the temple and its community. May the fragrance of the incense teach us the purity of our intention. May the beauty of the flowers offered teach us of life's impermanence. May the light that burns brightly teach us of Amita's great wisdom and compassion. everyone to please once more in the closing of the chanting, to put your palms together in Gasho or bow your head in contemplation and respect. As we say together once again, Namo Amida Butsu, I take refuge in Amida Buddha. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo.
Well, those of you who are able, please rise. We'll have the reading of the three treasures. You'll find that on page 3 of our purple book. Three treasures. Fortunate is it to be born into human life. Now we are living it. Rare is it to encounter the teachings of the Buddha. Now we hear it. If we do not seek the truth of the Dharma in this life, in what life shall we find it? Let us firmly take refuge in the three treasures of the truth. I take refuge in Buddha. May we all together absorb into ourselves the principle of the way to enlightenment and awaken within us our highest aspiration. I take refuge in Dharma. May we all together be submerged in the depth of the Dharma and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. I take refuge in Sangha. May we all together become units in true accord in a life of harmony, in a spirit of universal brotherhood, freed from the bondage of selfishness. Even through ages of myriads of kalpas, hard is it to hear such an excellent, profound, and wonderful teaching. Now we are able to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of the Tathagata's teachings. Namo Idabats, Namo Idabats. Namanda, 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 Namanda. Now we will have our song or gatha. It's on page 137 of the purple book. Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you. You may be seated. Now, Reverend Cindy will introduce our guest speaker.
Hello, everyone. It's nice to see everyone back from our summer break, I guess you could call it. Hopefully everyone had a safe and wonderful Labor Day. So today we are honored to have a special guest speaker. Today we will have Reverend Patty Oshita speak for our September Shotsuki Hoyo for us. Reverend Patty was born and raised in Fowler, California, outside of Fresno, California. She worked in LA for a few years before moving to Sacramento in 1984. She worked for Congressman Robert Matsui for 6 years and returned to school and received her Bachelor's in Arts in Humanities and Religious Studies. Reverend Patty worked at Caltrans, local metro, not local, but metro for California, public transit, and retired in as manager in HR in 2012. In 2003, she received her Tokudo ordination and Kyoshi in 2007. She worked with Reverend Bob Osha, her husband, who was also on the altar, from 2014, and both retired in 2016. From 2016 to 2020, both Reverend Bob and Reverend Patty were invited to be the chaplains for the California State Assembly, and last year the Assembly asked them to return, where they are now serving again. She is a founding leader of the Sacramento Betsuin Girl Scout Troop 569, which was founded in 1992 and remains a leader today. She enjoys watching sumo, playing the piano, and practicing yoga. So if you could please join me in welcoming Reverend Patty Osha.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Reverend Cindy, for your kind invitation to join in service this morning. Bob and I are delighted to be here again in White River Buddhist Temple. I believe the last time we were here for service was with when Reverend Ogui had his final service and his farewell dinner back in, I think it was like 2018. So it was a great reunion, and we were glad to be here at that time. Yesterday, we had a wonderful yoga retreat here with over 50 people in attendance. And I say it was really a fun Saturday of learning yoga from Bob Matsueda. He flew in from Berkeley. And we learned a little bit more about Buddhism, meditation. It was just really a fun day, I think, of just meeting new friends and reacquainting with old friends. So I'd like to thank Reverend Cindy and the White River Board for allowing us to be here yesterday and to have our program with you. We really enjoyed it. But today we're here to observe the September Shotsuki service. Every month with our Shotsuki service, we remember people that we love that we have lost in the month. In observing Shotsuki, it's a very thoughtful and reflective tradition. But I found that when we experience significant loss, we think about them every day. And after the passing of even many years, each day, quietly they come to mind, the people that we love. And especially on those special days, the birthdays, anniversaries, and their hinichi, the day that we lost them. I've also found that when I remember them in services like today's Shotsuki, we find ourselves thinking about and remembering so many family and friends that we have lost through the years. The month of June is my mother's month. June was the month that she was born. June was the month that she married. And June was also the month that we lost her in 2003. But when Mom comes to mind, so does my dad, who passed away in July of 2020. My ji-chans and my ba-chans, my aunties and uncles, my sister's husband, Dennis, Bob's parents, his brother, Gerald. Countless memories ripple through into long, thoughtful moments whenever any of them come to mind. But this is the nature of living life, sharing love and knowing loss. And I've come to feel that it should be no other way. So the point I'm trying to make is that in observing Shotsuki, for even one person, we begin to remember so many that we have lost, and so many whose lives have impacted our own. And when I consider the long history here at White River Buddhist Temple, I know that there are so many who have dedicated their lives to nurturing and maintaining the Dharma tradition. And although they are physically gone, the truth or the fruits of their efforts remain in the heart of the White River Buddhist Temple. It's wonderful that today we have a growing non-Japanese membership, and it's important that this happens if we're going to create an American Jodo Shinshu or American Buddhism. But this would not be possible without the Dharma seeds that were planted by the first generations, the Issei's, and nurtured by our second generation, the Nisei, and after returning from the forced incarceration during World War II. So today, for Shotsuki service, I'd like to have our gratitude encompass the founding generations of Buddhism in America. I'd like for us to consider the collective efforts and sacrifices of our Issei, our Nisei Kibei generation, who established our Jodo Shinshu temples here in America. And for those of you that are around my age, this would be our moms and dads and our bachans and our jichans. And if it was not for them, this temple and all of BCA temples would not be here today. I'd like us to take a moment and think about the adversity they faced and overcame. I'd like us to reflect upon the incredible dedication and the countless sacrifices that they made to establish their families, their temples, and our communities here in America. The role that our Issei, Nisei, and Kibei played in the last 125 years have been too often and maybe too easily overlooked. But without the unselfish loving love and the caring commitment that they gave to their families, their communities, our Dharma tradition, where would BCA and our temples be today? My husband Bob remembers returning from Japan in 1975, and he was assigned to the Los Angeles Betsuin. He recalls on his very first day that he was assigned to help with the funeral of Issei Bachan, Mrs. Mayakawa. And interestingly, the members of the Mayakawa family still do recall that Bachan was his very first funeral service at the LA Betsuin. Back then, with 7 ministers, the LA Betsuin was one of 2 most active Jodo Shinshu temples outside of Japan. And annually, they would officiate over 180 funerals a year. I know that's almost hard, it's impossible to imagine such a place. But at that time, the LA Betsuin also had 6 hoakais, or Dharma gatherings, outside of the Betsuin, and 2 of them became the San Fernando Valley and the Venice temples. Bob said there was an average of 3 to 4 funerals a week, and he soon realized that we were losing our most senior and most remarkable Issei generation. So let us take a moment to share the realities that we know, but we easily overlook. As our first generation of immigrants, the early Isseis were born in the late 1800s. The first immigrants were, for the most part, young men determined to make their fortune and return to Japan. But it was only after the women began coming to America that families were formed and communities were established. Now that the budding immigrant communities have families with children, Honganji was petitioned to send ministers to meet their spiritual needs. And finally, in 1898, the first temple was established in San Francisco. Whether our Issei women came as picture brides or if they were married and came, I feel it was our Issei women. They were the nurturing hearts of our communities. They took root wherever Nikkei gathered. They would become the Japan towns or the Nihon machis that some of us knew growing up in America. These women had the courage to come to a strange new country, overcoming obstacles in languages and prejudice, racial and gender discrimination. They had to adapt to a completely unfamiliar culture. They faced challenges that we cannot begin to imagine, and they only overcame them, and they thrived. Our Issei men also endured so much, too. Most came imagining that they would earn the money necessary to return to Japan and buy land to farm. Our Issei men worked as farmers, laborers, migrant workers, tenant workers, fishermen, longshoremen, garment factory workers, doing whatever work was available for them. Some of them were able to fulfill their dreams. Bob's grandparents were able to return to Japan after working 20 years in the fields of Hawaii and California. But many more remained, and the temples and the Dharma centers we enjoy today are part of their legacy. We cannot help but admire our first generation and truly feel grateful for their courage, their tenacity, and determination to make America their home. This temple and so many of us would not be here today if it was not for our Issei generation and the Issei women whose quiet strength held their families and our communities together. So some of you may know that I was born and raised in a small farming community called Fowler, about 10 miles south of Fresno. And like many Japanese Americans, I was born into a Buddhist family. Growing up, I was told how much my Issei Ji-chan was most active and instrumental in helping to propagate Buddhism throughout the Central Valley, especially for the Fresno Betsuin. I was a week old when he passed away, and I was often told how happy he was to see and to hold his first grandchild. My bachan would often talk about how Ji-chan loved to talk about, or how he lived a Buddhist life and how he enjoyed discussing the Dharma and being with ministers, and how he would rather talk about Buddhism and what we could do for the temple than to go out to the fields and to farm the land. I was fortunate to have my Issei bachan living with us during our childhood. In hearing these stories, I know now that it was bachan who had all along kept the family together, working the grapevines, tending the garden, preparing meals for her family and workers, doing whatever was needed. Monku nashi, without complaint, so that Ji-chan could do what he loved the most, help grow the temples in Central California. While doing this, my bachan also helped with the BWA, the Buddhist Women's Association. She was a komon, or a BWA elder, and her advice was sought whenever issues arose. There were many here who can recall the quiet and gentle strength that we felt in our bachans. Our Isseis were the beating heart of our early communities and temples, and like our hearts, they worked tirelessly and unassumingly to give life to all who were apart. So how can we not but honor them? Next, I like to think about the remarkable Nisei and Kibei generation of Jodo Shinshu. For those of my Sansei generation, these are our moms and dads. As much as we cannot help but admire our Isseis, I cannot help but equally admire and at times even feel more impressed with our amazing Nisei in our Kibei generations. Even in our youth, the many Niseis were already shouldering responsibilities beyond their years, They were often the translators and the guides, helping their Issei parents navigate their way through difficult cultural times, where prejudicial laws restricting Orientals from owning land, early farms and businesses were purchased under the names of the American-born Nisei children. And when World War II began, it was often the Nisei who quietly had to take the lead, explaining what had to be done and preparing for the forced relocation and incarceration of people of Japanese ancestry, regardless of citizenship. So let me share an unsung example of a young Nisei and what he did in Sacramento. While preparing for the forcible removal, one young 20-year-old Nisei, Toko Fuji, discovered that there was still an outstanding mortgage on the Sacramento Buddhist temple. He also organized his young friends, aging around 18 to 22 years of age, to pay off that mortgage. It's amazing, and it's an unselfish act that was organized by a group of young Nisei during a fearful time full of unknowns. And Bob and I only learned of this when Toko passed away in 2001. They were never recognized for this quietly heroic act. Instead, they did it just because it needed to be done. And in Duncan Williams' book, American Sutra, is documented that in the camps, it was the young Niseis who organized and later incorporated what would become the BCA, making English the official language of the organization. Bob and I have for many years considered our Nisei generation our caregiving generation. Returning from the camps after war, the young Nisei families gave care to reestablishing their homes and communities in a social environment that was not welcoming of anyone Japanese. They gave care to revitalize and sometimes rebuild the temples that were vandalized or destroyed by those who saw them as enemy aliens. As our Isseis aged, they were able to enjoy their hobbies. My Bachan loved her large garden and enjoyed growing vegetables and flowers to share with family and friends. Many formed clubs like Shigin, Shogi, Hana, or Bonsai. Our Isseis did not have to know the day-to-day care of aging parents. Our Niseis were the first generation of Nikkei that had to care for aging parents. They gave care to raising their families, maintaining our temples, and later gave care to help in raising their grandchildren. My Nisei dad was drafted from the camps and served in Germany during World War II. He returned to a country that was not welcoming of people of Japanese ancestry. In fact, his family was not allowed to return to live in the town of Exeter, where they lived before the war. But their generation came together and they worked hard, doing whatever they could to reestablish their lives and families, facing adversities they never shared with their children. My Nisei mom embodied deeply the Nisei caregiving nature. It was my mom who took her 3 children to Dharma school every Sunday, for my dad worked at Grapevines. There was no such thing as a Sunday off. And with my mom being the Fowler Temple organist, we could not help but have perfect attendance. I was a young girl when the Fowler Temple went from a Sunday Hawakai Dharma school extension to the extension of the Fresno Betsuin to an independent temple. And I was honored to help and organize the Fowler Temple Dharma School 100th anniversary celebration in May 2 years ago. But each time I go home to my temple in Fowler, I can feel my mom's presence. And when I sit in that hondo, a part of me feels like 6 years old again. When I hear that same organ playing, I look up wishfully, expecting to see her sitting there, playing as I had and heard throughout my life until I lost her in June of 2003. So there's no doubt about it that I think about my mom and all of her friends, and I know that their efforts and sacrifices were mirrored just as White River too. I know that you, the many of you, our nieces, will remain our most caregiving generations of all. Bob's mom and dad were both Kibes, born in America, but raised from childhood in Japan. They both returned to America, the country of their birth, before the war, and they faced the same rejection and hatred, and the added stigma that English was not their first language. Yet they too worked hard to rebuild their lives and our communities and temples after the war. Not being a Northwest girl, for the White River Buddhist Temple Shotsuki service this month, I wanted to pay tribute to not just those of the members of the temples that we have lost in the month of September, but to go even further and reflect on the generations of the wonderful people we've lost over the years that have built and sustained this White River Buddhist Temple. Today, let us focus our Nembutsu gratitude on the collective efforts and sacrifices of our Issei, Nisei, and Kibe, and all of the people who have helped to maintain our Dodo Shinshu tradition here in America. For it's because of their life's effort that we are here today, as a people, as a culture, and as a religious tradition. And as Bob felt back in 1975 about our Issei, we know that we are now in that time when we see that each week we're losing more and more of our amazing and irreplaceable Nisei and Kibe generation. And we will never see the like of that generation again. But even more so, I feel that the need to acknowledge them as truly the honored generation, worthy of our deepest gratitude, that gratitude beyond words, that is Onembutsu. So I'd like to close today's service with this thoughtful question. How will we be remembered? How will we be remembered? All of us here today, we are now the caretakers of our Dharma tradition. Sansei, Yonsei, third and fourth generation. Our members who have come to the Dharma from other traditions. We have been nurtured by the generations before us, and we have inherited the beautiful temples that they have established and maintained for all of us to enjoy. It is our turn to do our best to keep the Dharma alive for generations to come. I wonder, will we be worthy of being honored and remembered? It will be the future generations that will evaluate our efforts and our care. They will be the judge of whether we have the vision and the courage to make our temples and communities alive and meaningful. So let us continue to try our best to be the caretakers of our temples. So I thank you for this opportunity to speak at this very special service. In closing, please join me in Gassho. Our EC generation are now an honored part of our history. And with each week, we are losing more and more of our irreplaceable Nisei and Kibe generation. We will never see the like of this remarkable generation again. Let us acknowledge them all, for they are worthy of our deepest gratitude. That level of gratitude where the words thank you would never be enough. Then we truly feel gratitude beyond words. We begin to touch the heart of what is Onembutsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Let us live with kindness and gratitude beyond words.
Thank you, Reverend Patty, for your Dharma message. It's very well perceived, very well thought out to let people know of our heritage. We sometimes don't always remember the gifts that we have been given by previous members of this Sangha. So, those of you who are able, will you please rise? We'll have a gatha or song from our purple book, Otoku-san 2. It's on page 153, 153. And please remain standing after that for the reading of the daily creed of Jodo Shinshu. The Daily Creed of Jodo Shinshu, it's on page 8. Please read along with me. Realizing enlightenment is assured and reciting the Nembutsu, I shall live my life cheerfully and positively. Understanding the oneness of life and cultivating self-reflection, I shall diligently attend to my life's tasks in gratitude. Recognizing the Dharma path, I shall help spread the teachings of the Buddha. Appreciating the Buddha Dharma, I shall respect and help others, working for the good of society. Namo Idabats, Namo Idabats, Namanda, Namanda, Namanda. Thank you. You may be seated. Do we have any guests today that we would like to recognize? Yes.
like to introduce Ron Macarena, who was our yoga instructor yesterday.
I would like to introduce my friend Terry McClellan. This is her first time coming to service, and she was here yesterday.
My cousin.
How wonderful to find a cousin. Hopefully not long lost. Anyone else?
And I guess we should, introduce Reverend Bob. Other half.
Ah, thank you. Glad you're all here and hope you can, if you've enjoyed your time with us. So, announcements, the many things are on our little orange, gold colored, whatever this the color is, sheet. They're available out there. We do want to extend thank yous to all of our guests who were here yesterday, presenters, people that prepared the food. That was wonderful. So, are there any other announcements that need to be made? I know lots of things are happening.
Partially because it's not on the sheet, which is fine because it's a month away. But I'm putting on my Northwest minister's hat, and there's flyers for this out in the foyer. On October 4th, from 2 to 4 p.m., Tacoma Buddhist Temple will be having a seminar. The guest speaker will be Reverend Blaine Higa from the Kona Honganji Buddhist Temple. And he will be speaking on Shin Buddhist wisdom for living in a broken world. There's these flyers out in the foyer that is available. The seminar cost is free, but afterwards there will be an optional curry dinner made, I believe, mainly made / helped out by the Tacoma Buddhist Temple / Reverend Tadao Koyama from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. And if you are planning on attending that dinner, there's a suggested donation of $15. Okay, there's these flyers out in the foyer. Again, it's about a month away, so you have a lot of time to register. But just want to keep it in the back of your minds if you would like to listen to Reverend Blaine Higa from Kona Honganji Buddhist Temple. It will be on October 4th, Saturday, October 4th, from 2 to 4 p.m. And if you would like to attend, there'll be a curry dinner from 5 to 7 p.m. With a suggested donation of $15. Thank you.
Hi. It's been a busy weekend, but yesterday a little birdie told me it was somebody's birthday today, and it's Annika's birthday. Yeah. Let's sing to her. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Annika. Happy birthday to you.
That's nice. So you had, actually, I think your president was yesterday, the presentation and all, and your presentation. That's probably a very lovely birthday present, and having all these guests and friends with you. It's wonderful. So we're come to the end of our service. For those of you who wish, you may come up and do Oshoko or offering. It doesn't obligate you to anything. It's just a way of showing gratitude. And we wish you safe travels. If some of you might be going up to the big green place where they're having football this afternoon, hope the team of your choice does well. So with that, I want to give a little tug to some friends who couldn't make it here today. And we will read the closing words you'll find at the bottom of your program. They were written by Reverend Ogui many years ago. My life is not only my life, but the life of others' sacrifices, kindness, thoughtfulness, and patience. I am grateful. Namo Idapats, Namo Idapats, Namanda. Again, thank you all very much. Stay safe, and we will see you the next time.